Hi, my name is Rocco,
My name is Amos.
and we make a magazine called Original Plumbing together.
It's about trans male culture. And recently, in the past 3 months, there have been three suicides of trans people that we've known. And two of those people were local here in Brooklyn and have been involved with our events or the magazine itself. It's taken us a long time to respond to these suicides because of our own depression and trying to figure out exactly a way to publicly share our feelings in this manner.
Particularly, it's made me think a lot about how suicide in this community is not just a teenage issue, that adult people still feel depressed, and their depression becomes severe enough that they take their own lives. And that seems like something that we don't have a lot of space to talk about. And we are hoping to create a space where people share their experience and struggle and tools that they've used to help themselves out of feeling that level of depression.
I would remember trying to picture myself as an adult, and I never could ever picture it. And I thought that it was just because I would probably expire somehow before adulthood reached, because there was no way that I could live in the experience that I was living before I dealt with my transition and queerness.
I'm a person who's experienced depression for as long as I can remember. And when I was a kid in a small town and I was the only queer kid that I knew of that existed in that small town, I thought that my depression was completely linked to my isolation. Now that I'm an adult, I live a happier life and I have a huge community of people around me, but I still feel scared to open up and share how I feel depressed or how moments when I feel desperate, I don't reach out. And even as an adult person, I don't feel comfortable sharing my dark feelings with people who are close to me. And that is really where the danger lies, is in this isolation.
My depression has changed and gotten worse into adulthood. And the only thing, I mean, one thing that has gotten better is that I've gone from not really dealing with it or understanding where it comes from to finding roots and pinpointing where it's coming from, because sometimes there's life situations that can add to that depression. I am also kind of a shy isolator, and I don't like to talk about my feelings ever, and that seems to be my worst enemy, because when I can lock myself in my room for days and not speak to anyone and not even notice, and it seems totally natural to me. I also feel that when I'm isolating and when I'm in these depressions, I also feel that these are my problems and I don't want to burden anyone else with these problems. Whenever I have moments of clarity after dark depressive moments and weeks, I often wish that I had shared my stories with a friend or talked to anyone at all, about my feelings and just opened up for a moment, because I feel like it would have helped me feel a lot better in the time, and it's not going to hurt someone else to listen to me for a change.
When I was 24, I came the closest I've ever come to taking my own life. And I truly believe the only thing that saved me in that moment was that I was living with a girlfriend at the time, and I had to talk to her about what was happening. And if she and I hadn't been living together, I don't think I would have talked to anyone about it, and who knows what I would have done. But because she was there, I had to talk about my feelings, and I had to talk about what I was going through, and subsequently she helped me save my life in that moment. I've had other moments of really dark depression, and feeling like I didn't understand what the point was of any of this. I've grabbed Kate Bornstein's book, Hello, Cruel World. You know, some of the things that she has in there are absolutely ridiculous, and she acknowledges that, but it sort of like boils it down to this like very simple way of just distracting yourself, because I think that the gravity of depression in those moments feels endless. It's important to remember that, and maybe just take it like day by day. When you're feeling that desperate, take it day by day and just open up and share with someone. I feel like this has been a wake-up call in this community. I hope that this serves as a wake-up call globally, and we all feel like we can have a real community where we talk about things that are hard, and that we don't just come together in moments of joy, but that we can share the struggle with each other and the pain, and that we can be there for each other.
We want to introduce to you the Talk About It campaign. We want to hear your stories of strengths, weaknesses, failures, tools, anything you do to get over your depression or suicidal thoughts. We just want you to talk about it, even if you're in a depression at this moment. So upload your video to YouTube. You can email it to us at talkaboutit@originalplumbing.com. Email us the link, or you can tweet it with hashtag talkaboutit. And we're going to put up a blog every week from the community. People from all over the world, we just want to hear your stories, because it doesn't matter if you're in a small town or a huge city, if you feel totally isolated or if you're surrounded by friends. We don't always talk about it. I mean, that's my personal experience. It doesn't matter how big my city is or how many people I'm surrounded by. I'm still the quiet person in the corner who's not exactly sharing my feelings and going through a lot of shit, just like a lot of other people all over the world.
And I'm not even that quiet. Generally, I overshare, but I think that this is something that through my whole life, when I was a depressed 13-year-old, I didn't talk about it. And as, an adult person, I don't want to talk about it. And I just think that if I was able to create space for myself to talk about it, I would feel far less alone. And we hope that that is the result of this Talk About It campaign. We don't want anyone to be alone in their feelings of desperation or depression.
Send us your videos. Let's talk about it.